So I just came home from a 10-day Vipassana retreat in Sweden, Ödeshög. This was my second Vipassana retreat. And I want to talk a little bit about Vipassana and the technique and the wisdom that is gained with this technique. So the foundation of Vipassana is basically three things. So it's sila, which is moral living, which means like you don't lie, you don't steal, don't kill, stuff like that. The second is focus, control of your mind. And the third one is wisdom, like seeing how things actually are. And it's not an intellectual wisdom, like it's a experiential wisdom. And the thing with Vipassana is it's a method to go beyond suffering. And it teaches that suffering is because of our aversion, our craving, and our lack of knowledge. So aversion is I feel something or I see something and my mind is rejecting this because of some idea or some thought. I'm rejecting what is appearing, what is true. I'm trying to control reality. So I'm rejecting truth, which is of course causing me to suffer, or it's like it's rejecting truth or rejecting what is it's creating bad emotions, like when somebody tells you something mean, your body reacts with negative emotion. So it's the same way here. And craving is when you want something that you don't have. So truth is what is appearing right now, but you want something that is not appearing right now. So you're feeling sad and you want alcohol, but you don't have any alcohol. So you're sitting and like struggling. You're not feeling your feelings that you're actually feeling, or the emotions you're actually feeling. You're avoiding these feelings and trying to like run away to an escape. And of course this is causing suffering because it's not a relaxed state, it's a stressed state where you try to avoid yourself. And the lack of knowledge is the fact that we don't know how we are creating our suffering. We don't realize how we are creating suffering. That I look at somebody and I'm in my mind like I don't want to see this person, or I don't want them to do what they're doing, so I'm reacting to this and rejecting it, and this creates more bad emotions, and I'm like building this layer of like negative reactions. So maybe the reason I first react to this person, to this experience, is because it's because of like some kind of thought, some kind of self-perception, and my body knows it reacts, and because it disturbs my self-image, and the feeling appears, and actually to dissolve this feeling I should only be aware and accept it, because things are dissolving by itself. But instead I'm like pushing down it, and I'm reacting, like I'm attacking the object outside me instead, which is causing more suffering. And it's lack of knowledge, because we think we are like this me, I, self, which is we have attached to a body and a mind and thoughts, which is also creating suffering, because it's fearful to be this, to think you are something which is an illusion. So by practicing Vipassana, you can start to realize how the external world can never affect you. It of course affects you because you react to it, but 100% of the responsibility of your state is within you. Like you have two people watching the same exact experience. This person becomes happy, this person becomes sad, because their self-identities are different. This is a supporter of football team A, and this is a supporter of football team B, for example. And of course, if the A wins, then the A supporter is happy. But it's the same experience. But one of them is like becoming depressed, and it's like, and the person B thinks that the reason he is sad is because of the football match. He thinks that the reason he's sad is because of the football match, which is only the surface level of what is happening. It actually has like created this identity, and this identity is what's reacting to it. And then it gets these bad emotions. No, I wanted them to win. Like I want to win. I don't want to lose, and I don't want to feel bad. And you're feeling bad, and instead of being with this emotion, letting it appear, letting it disappear, observing it with acceptance, letting it dissolve, moving on. Maybe this person is feeling this emotion, watching out the world, sees the other supporter, punches him in the face, he gets punched back, gets like more bad emotion, getting hurt in his body. He breaks his arm. He don't want to break his arm. He's feeling more sad. He's getting more angry. Like it's like a spiral of negativity, which we are just like feeding. Like we have like a coal oven, and we're like feeding it negativity, or craving. With craving, we're doing basically the same thing. I'm feeling bad. I don't want to feel bad. I go to the cabinet. I take the vodka bottle. I pour in vodka. I'm drinking. Suddenly, the country is banning alcohol, as an example, and now you cannot get alcohol. So you now have lost the thing you used to like fill your void with. And of course you're gonna suffer. You're gonna have to face your emotions, but you're still like trying to avoid it by like you will go out and and look in the black market for the alcohol, and while you're suffering and like avoiding your actual stressing about your emotional state, and thinking that your emotional state is a permanent state. There are no states which are permanent, and that is very clear in the teaching. They talk about something called anicca, and that basically means that nothing lasts, And if you notice a sensation appearing in your body, you will also notice that this sensation will eventually leave. You get happy, then the happiness disappears. You get sad, and the sadness disappears. Like, this is, we all should realize this. But once a feeling appears, maybe for the ego, it will feel like, oh, this is permanent, or like it starts to build a story. I'm like this because this reason. Nobody likes me. It's like this. You create an entire story around a sensation. So you're building upon, you have a sense of unpleasant feeling, and then you're building stories around the unpleasant feeling, which is causing more depression. Like, you're causing a lot of suffering. So how Vipassana works is that you stop projecting the responsibility of your own responsibility. You stop like blaming it on the world, and you stop like, okay, this emotion is inside me. I'm seeing this experience, emotion appears within me. So I have some kind of some samkara, which is basically an impurity or a reaction pattern based on some kind of idea. And to heal this, basically it appears, oh, this pain, or this something feels unpleasant. It doesn't feel like happiness. Maybe it's sadness. Maybe it's fear. So instead, I'm taking back the responsibility. I'm looking inwards. Okay, I'm staying with this feeling and letting it disappear. I'm watching it, anicca. I know it will disappear eventually. I'm just accepting it, seeing it exactly as it is. I don't make a story. And eventually, this feeling dissolves, and you're a little bit lighter after this. And the method of Vipassana is basically you're scanning the body. You're like keeping your awareness focused on the body's sensation. So like, how does my hand feel right now? How does my chest feel? My face, my eye, my forehead. And so we are training to be conscious of our body, and we are like beaming our light of pure consciousness on these feelings we have in our body. And to reach this state of even being able to feel sensation, we start with observing the breath. We start with observing like this area here, and eventually we observe just the sensation here. And we get more, our mind becomes more and more subtle. Like we realize that we can experience like more subtle things, like a little tiny change in our experience, and our awareness is suddenly aware of it. And before, we just wasn't aware of that these things are happening. So we start to realize that, oh, my body isn't feeling so nice, actually. Like, it's especially for after sitting for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 1 hour, you get a lot of like pain appearing in the body. And now you can, of course, like blame it. I'm sitting a long time, which is why I'm feeling this pain, which is on the surface level seems to be true. But actually it is because of your old stock of these samkaras, these impurities, which is now coming to the surface. Like, the way we have lived has like made the vibrations of our basically the atoms of our body, the vibrations of this are like vibrating in a very like dense vibration. it feels heavy, it feels tight. So we have a body that feels like it's separated from our environment. I'm feeling like, oh, these fucking people, and like these people are separate from me. But when I'm shining the light of consciousness on these feelings, I'm basically like slowly lightening these vibrations. I'm allowing them like to dissolve and dissolve, and like I'm dissolving some kind of solidity, some old frozen emotion or feeling. It dissolves, but because now I'm more like pure, then I have like a stock of these samkaras. So now another feeling comes up here, or a reaction. Maybe fear comes, maybe like sadness comes, maybe like you start to get these reactions, or like maybe your heart starts to pump suddenly. And these are like the samkaras coming to the surface. And we just use the same method. We're just observing them as they are. And through this process, you're healing yourself. You're allowing the natural process of healing to take place. We have been avoiding healing for our entire life, and maybe lifetimes. So now it's like we're sitting with it. We're like, I'm dedicated to sit and to heal, because I'm tired to live as a small object, as a separated object in illusion. I want to know the truth. I want to know who I am. I want to feel free. I want to feel happy. I want to feel love. And then I need to meet myself. I need to see what I had created. And yeah, it's an amazing path, and I'm noticing the changes happening in me since the first retreat, but also since this retreat. I'm noticing how I'm like seemingly more free to talk to people and interact with strangers, whereas before I was more afraid, felt more isolated, I wouldn't like talk to strangers, or like add an avoidance to speak to people I didn't know if there wasn't like a context that could like confirm me to do it. And yeah, I'm just feeling more like lighter and more inspired. I'm still not a liberated and enlightened being. Like 10 days is seemingly a lot. Like the first retreat, I remember I'm like, oh, I'm gonna, 10 days of meditation, I'm gonna be enlightened, I'm gonna meet God, maybe I'm gonna see my past life. This retreat, I felt like more grounded. I'm just gonna meet what appears with equanimity, what is, and just follow the path, basically. Just trust nature, trust God or whatever, to take me home. And this method, this technique, is completely without any dogmas, any religion. It's just a technique, basically. So you can have all the beliefs that you want. You can be an atheist, you can be a Christian, a Muslim, a Buddhist, of course. Because this this teaching is from Buddha, but Buddha it's not of a religion. Like the Buddha is just he's a realized man, and he realized his true nature, and wanted to spread this out of compassion. So yeah, it's getting a little bit cold here, but I'm just observing. I'm observing my body's shaking a little bit, but it's anicca. It's all good. But yeah, I should stop the video here. And yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully you are inspired to start to open yourself to like similar ways of thinking, like to start taking responsibility and to stop projecting our reactions. It's the path to healing. It's the path to happiness. I strongly believe it. And also I want to say, like, aware of the body. It's very important. Like, you're walking, aware of the body. You're going, aware of the body. And this is the progressive path. But the direct path simultaneously tells you that you're already whole. You're already complete. You're one with nature, one with God. You are not separated. But the feeling of separation is there, so that's why we're walking the progressive path. All right. Thank you. Much love.